So this is part two. Not really sure what's going on with YouTube today. So I restarted my phone and everything. Hopefully everything goes okay, but it was having a hard time keeping a signal and all of that. So that, and I couldn't read the chat. The chat was like repeating itself. The words were on top of each other and it just looked like a jumbled mess. So interesting. Okay. Well, we're going to try this. So I'm going to go ahead and start then with the weekly reading for today. And I have my Wally's World Oracle. This is the back of the deck. Again, if you're interested in it, the link for that is down below. But okay, so let's go ahead and pull a theme card for this week. And let's see what this week has cooked up for us. And if you're slanging some cards, which I highly do recommend, let us know what messages you guys are getting. Let us know if you are just channeling some messages, you're pulling some runes. But let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so hopefully people make their way over. Do apologize, but you know, I can't really control YouTube or the internet. So, okay, let me just put those cards right there. Okay, so let's see what we have for the theme. Oh, interesting. So this image was taken out in Hawaii, actually, by my stepmom and my dad. And I have photoshopped Wally right there. He's on the beach, just looking out into the horizon past the beautiful cliffs out there. So let's see what this means for us this week, November 5th through November 11th. That's this upcoming Saturday. Feels like it might be a bit of an emotional week, an emotional roller coaster for some of us. Again, it's a general reading, and we're all going to experience this in different ways, but this is a time for us to really recognize the emotions that are rolling in for us and not just feeling through them and honoring them, but really trying to figure out what those emotions are trying to tell us. Where are they stemming from? Let's say we get extremely triggered by something this week. We want to figure out why we were triggered by that. Where was that actually coming from? Was it the event? Was it the situation? Or was it something deeper? And so, just like the ocean, it is time to dive deep this week. It is time to start looking past the layers, because oftentimes our ego might have us believe that the first layer we get to is good enough. Like, oh, okay, that's where it was really going. But what if we went a little deeper? What if we didn't stop there? And really try to get at the core of these emotions, the core of these feelings. And by doing that, it's not a scary thing, but really it's to help us better understand ourselves. And the better we understand ourselves, the more we understand our reality and our hand in that reality. And the better we have an opportunity to create the reality that we wish. But we can only do that when we're aware of the energy that's being put out. We're aware of what our emotions, our energy is trying to tell us. And so that is the theme for this week, brought to you by a little Wally Wallito. Ah. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that aside, and let's pull a few more cards for this week. I want to dive a little bit deeper. So I have my little kawaii tarot here. Okay, see, it's like got these little simplistic images. It's super cute. Anywho, so I just want to pull a few more cards. So besides that, is there anything we can expand on for this week, or something else that we need to know? So let's go ahead and get these ready. All right. And last one. Okay, that feels good. Nice 3 cards. I like it. Okay, just put that in its little pouch. Boop. Alrighty. So the first card we have is the 8 of Swords. Interesting. Then we have the 5 of Candy Canes, or 5 of Wands. And then we have the 10 of lollipops or the 10 of pentacles. Okay, so I'll allow you guys to get your intuitive hits on this one, and then we'll dive in. Okay. Okay, so some of that emotional stuff that's coming in this week um, is having to do with those that we call family. So either it's our biological family or the friends who've come into our life, our soul family, basically. And perhaps there's something that arises that causes you to become triggered by something that a loved one, part of your soul family, has said or did. And it's time to just look a little bit more, a little bit beyond, the ego here with the Eight of Swords. That perhaps it wasn't what they said, or even the situation, or even the person that was saying it themselves, but it was the energy behind what was said or that situation that caused that trigger. And so this is where we go in past any hurt or anger, or any sort of frustration that we might be feeling from it, and go just a little bit deeper and say, well, maybe it's because somebody, that same person, has said something very similar and I didn't say anything before, and so now it's all kind of coming to a head, and I kind of felt it bubbling to the surface. Okay, so that's one layer. So maybe when you should have said something before, you didn't, and so it's things have just kind of been building on top of each other. But let's go a little bit deeper. So we go a little bit deeper, and maybe we find out that maybe the first time it happened before, when we didn't say anything, that it was really stemming from something that happened way back when. Maybe it was in childhood, maybe it was when we were in college, and it was a situation that bothered you then, and perhaps you didn't say anything about it then. A lot of us try to keep the peace, so we just, kind of keep those things to ourselves. But we realize that when we do that, eventually it's going to come out. So we might as well get it out now before it becomes a big blow up, right? But let's go even deeper. Let's say it's something that happened before that moment. And we just keep going and going until we can't go any deeper, until your higher self literally hits rock bottom. It's like, nope, that was the last layer. We have to look at that. We have to dive into that. And this is going to be very beneficial for us. So at first, it may seem frustrating, like, oh, I don't like, feeling this way. I don't like feeling these frustrating things. But once we get past all that and we go into the reasons why, we have a better understanding, we have clarity. And where there's clarity and understanding, that's where a lot of the frustrating type emotions seem to dissipate, because the emotions are there to show you that we are frustrated because we don't understand. But when you do understand, things become more clear. Then I can deal with the situation more effectively. I can understand myself better. I understand my role in this better. I understand their role and what they were trying to teach me subconsciously. And I can thank them for it. Even if I'm angry with them at the time, I can understand what their higher self was trying to teach me. And we can be thankful for that, because now we've healed because of a very uncomfortable situation. So, some good stuff coming up for us this week. It may seem uncomfortable at times, but know this is going to be for your best and highest good and for the deepest healing. Okay, if people are commenting in the comments, I don't see the comments. So I don't know where the comments went, but hopefully you guys can see them and you guys can chat amongst yourself. But as I'm looking there, there aren't any comments. So anyway, okay, so I want to go into our next stage, which is our channeling session. So as I said in part one, briefly, like 10 minutes ago, um, there is a public poll that I post on my YouTube channel page where you guys get to vote on kind of the theme that you want our Sunday live chat to be about. And I post that to my Patreon page. I also post it for my YouTube members. By the way, thank you to my YouTube members. Mwah! Love you guys. Thank you, Patreons. Mwah! And thank you to all my YouTube subscribers and everybody who hangs out with us in the chat. Love you guys. But I posted the poll. It was 4 choices that you guys could choose from, and it looks like the majority people wanted some channeling from our native ancestors, which I believe is wonderful. Um, Remember that we are all one, so we are all connected, even if in this meat suit that we're in here on earth in this lifetime, this skin suit that we've chosen for this lifetime, may not have that ancestral lineage to native peoples. It doesn't matter, because energetically we're connected to them. You can connect to them at any time. It doesn't matter what the physicality of your skin suit is in this lifetime. However, in this lifetime, I do have lineage to the Pima, which is my family from Sonora, Mexico. But we'll see who we get today, who we channel today. Perhaps it's one of my Pima ancestors. Perhaps it's from one of the Danet, or one of the Navajo that used to live on this land. I know that the Apache used to come through here. We have the Hopi who also live around here, but maybe it's from spirit that's not from here, because remember, spirit doesn't know time or place. So this could be from anywhere in the world, really. And perhaps it's native peoples not as we know them here in the Americas, but perhaps the natives from the Celtic regions or the Asiatic regions, perhaps some of our ancestors that come from Australia, maybe. But let's go ahead and dive in and let's see what comes through. Okay. And so, again, for the people who are just now tuning in, YouTube's been having a few glitches this morning, and so the chat is invisible to me. I cannot see it, but maybe you guys can. So, okay. Oops, sorry. All right, let me get a drink of water, and then what I'm going to do, if you guys don't have never seen me channel before, I just go into a meditation. So my eyes are closed the whole time. So probably no need to even look at me. There's not much to look at. But my eyes are closed. I start pushing my ego off to the side, send it off to a other little place. And then I just kind of feel the energies that are coming forward. I kind of do my own little assessment system, making sure that the energies that I'm feeling and seeing are genuine and they're not trickster spirits or anything like that. And then I let them on in to speak to you guys. So a little bit of water first, just to help cleanse and ground. All right, and here we go. Okay, we do have a person who would like to speak to you guys. Having a hard time understanding his name. Either it's Junkta or Winkta. And he seems to be from one of the White Mountain Apache who used to live in this area, but now live on our surrounding reservations. So I'll just step aside for him. Yan aho. I am appreciative I can communicate in this way with you, and that I communicate in a language you understand. I gave my body for hunt, for war. It was considered a great honor amongst my people to be one who is able bodied enough for war, for hunt, meant that you were in tune with spirit and you are in tune with that which you hunt and those you call your enemy. Our intentions were not always pure when it came to war, to hunt. Although it started off that way. We used to have ceremony before we hunt for food. We realize that it's sacred for an animal to offer up its spirit, its essence, its life for you and your family. And you understand that it is symbolic of the push and pull of the earth. That perhaps I will not always achieve victory. I may not always win as it seems in trying to attain my target. Perhaps they win sometimes, our animal kin, and they can teach us a lot in that. Perhaps it is they who take our life, depending on the size of your hunt. But it seemed an equal dance, and we never took more than was needed until the years wore on, and we decided there was not time for ceremony or time to give thanks to our hunt. And so we just took. And the more we took, the more it seemed we took from ourselves. For many of our traditions were waning. The way we saw our wives, our children, our community, we saw them differently. It became less about community and more about the self. And when things like that change, you see it in more than just your hunt, but you see it in your community. You see it in war. Some became thirsty for war. It was no longer just defense or wanting to claim a particularly fruitful area, but it became about hate more than understanding that these people are your brothers, they are you. And instead of going into war asking for help from spirit, but asking for a good war, an equal fight, and may the best tribe win, as you might see it, it became a hate and not understanding that they are us. We bleed the same. We love the same. We hurt the same. And it became about conquest and revenge and feelings instead of heart. That perhaps my pride was bruised and someone should suffer for it, instead of understanding that pride is a disease, one that can corrupt, as it has my people. And this is a reminder for you in your age and your so called present day, modern day, to look at who you war with. Perhaps it is yourself. Perhaps it's a neighbor. Perhaps it's a country. And to understand that they are you and you are them. They bleed like you bleed. They love as you love. They cry as you cry. When we begin to lack to see soul in the other, you will find a degradation of your self, your community, your country, and your world. Be knowledgeable of your spear tip. For whom do you cast it at? For whom did you make that spear for, and why? All right. Ooh. Whew. All right. I think our friend who has come through, I do feel we have a few more friends that would like to speak, but I just want to ground myself for a moment, perhaps with some water. All right. And again, there are some glitches in YouTube today. So the chat is not visible at all for me today. So if you guys are seeing the chat, then wonderful. May you guys continue to chat amongst yourselves. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay, so it looks like the chat has sort of popped back up again, but again, it's impossible for me to read it because your letters are all out of order, your words are on top of each other, and it looks like a completely foreign language going on in the chat. So, um, again, I don't know, YouTube, my goodness. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go in once again because it does feel like we do have a couple more friends who want to speak to us today, and I am so appreciative of their presence here and their willingness to want to come on here. I know that I don't have a ton of people, who watch my live chats, but I am grateful for the people who do and for the people who do watch the replays. And so that means that the messages are for you guys and for the energy to be put out there. Even the people who don't see this chat or even know that I exist, the energy is being put out there. And I think that that's all that matters. So let's go ahead and dive right in again. Okay, I'll see you guys in a bit. So again, people who are new or just tuning in, what I do is I just ground myself, protect my energy, connect to my higher self, and then I push my ego off into like I don't know, a little island where it can go entertain itself while the other energy comes in. I do a quick little making sure it's not a trickster spirit. I have a like a little verification system, just like, the computer does, the two-step verification. Like, how do I know you're not a robot? So says the robot. But anyway, let's go in once again. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, Anna has come through. Many of you guys know who Anna is, but if you don't, she is Danette. She is Navajo. Um, she used to live right on top of this hill in her hogan with her family, her husband, her three children. She had a cat, yes, brought over by the Spaniards. And sometimes she is quite shy, but every once in a while, she doesn't mind speaking to the public. So she's here with her very warm blanket, as she always is, wrapped around her very tiny frame. She's rather small in stature, but large of spirit. Aho, friends. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you. I only speak when I feel my breath is necessary. I don't feel that I need to add to the wind, so to speak. Sometimes so many voices, yet they say nothing and create strong wind. But when spoken with purpose, you can direct that wind. My friend B has come, for what I have to say is sweet. Many would mistake my smallness for being small, as if my words had no power, as if my spirit had no power. But looks can be deceiving, and only your vessel sees with eyes of two. Your soul is like 1,000 eyes, seeing in all directions from all layers. And this is why I speak to you. Many of you feel that your world is only true with what the two eyes can see, what the two ears can hear. But you know, those can be deceived. Sound can be manipulated. Visuals can be manipulated. but you cannot manipulate the soul of 1,000 ears and 1,000 eyes. So if somebody tried to play a trick on me, all I had to do was look with my soul and know that what they presented me with is false. Even coyote could not trick me, and they are the master of deception. And when you cannot be tricked, your power cannot be taken away. For power to be taken, you must give it. And if you allow yourself to be deceived, you are saying, "Take my power, please." So if you feel that a person or even a group of persons is stronger than you are because they look tough, they look tall, they have many weapons, perhaps physical or verbal, and you allow that deception to sink into your vessel, you say, "Please take my power, you who look mighty, who look big and strong," then that is your choice. But if you are to look at your soul with 1,000 eyes and 1,000 ears, I would see that they are a soul like me, no greater, no mightier, no stronger. Why would I give my power away to them? We have equal power. And so I would say, no, you may not have my power. And in those boundaries and in that stance, it is they who fear me, because only a people or a person willing to dominate someone they see as smaller or weaker than themselves because I am small of stature, then they are deceived and they do not look at their soul. I want you, all of you, if you find it in your hearts, anytime you see someone as stronger, bigger, more mighty, with words that hurt or tools that hurt, I want you to look with your 1,000 eyes and 1,000 ears and see that they are a soul like you, no bigger, no stronger, no mightier. Be this the people of your rulers, you call them government. Many you have chosen to give your power away to them because you find them to be stronger, mightier. For your 2 eyes and your 2 ears are easily deceived. Perhaps you give them away to those who would enforce unjust laws onto you. Give them away to soldiers who know not what they fight for. In actuality, for their 2 eyes and 2 ears are deceived. Perhaps you give it away to someone on the street or in an office because the building seems mighty and imposing. But all of this is deception. I ask of you, with love in my heart, to look with your 1,000 eyes and your 1,000 ears. For I do not want you to give your power away, because I see the power in each of you, and I love you. And when you can see the spirit in others, you will love them too. Whew, thank you, Anna. Whew. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, so many birds up here. Oh, they've all come for Anna. That's amazing. All right. Oh, I wish I could read your comments. But I do see that there are people in the chat. So thank you to everyone who is here. Hopefully you can pass on these messages, or yeah, definitely take in the messages. I love Anna's message so much. I mean, even from our first gentleman who came through from the Apache tribe. Um, yes, I thank them so much. I know that we have actually many more. I probably can't get to every soul that's here. Um, but we'll go ahead. We'll try. I think I can do one more, and then whew, I'll give myself a little break. And then we'll go into our. I don't know if I could do super chats or super stickers today since I can't read the chat. So that would make that difficult. So then we would go into our guided meditation. Then, of course, I like to do the channeled guided meditations. Again, I'll try to single out this meditation for next week and put it into its own video for people who just love to watch the channeled guided meditations. I'll do that for them. Okay, so give me just a couple of minutes and then I'll let in our okay. So the other people are like, oh, okay, I guess we'll just watch since they know that I'm not going to be able to channel everybody, but that's fine. Okay. Here we go. Okay, well, it's interesting because, like I said, there's a lot of spirit here that would wish to speak, but they know that since I'm only doing one more for today, they have all stepped back and they have allowed one soul to come forward and be the final one for this chat today. But this soul is not human. This is a wolf, and it's known as the white wolf, actually, which guards the top of this area. And that's interesting because I haven't seen the white wolf in a while, but James and I first witnessed this interesting spirit when we first came to this property. So I'm going to let the white wolf speak to you. And it seems the other ancestors here are going to allow that to be the final messages today. So let me ground and connect once again. This will be interesting to embody a wolf energy. My goodness. But a soul is soul, no matter the vessel that we find ourselves in. Hello. She is right. Soul is soul. Energy is energy. It doesn't matter the energy of 4 legs or the energy of 2 legs. Energy is just transferred from vessel to vessel. And I know that the vessel does not define you. This is why I'm not speaking in wolf, but I speak in your tongue. One of my dear friends is your friend Anna, and what she spoke was truth. The time has come, as it comes in every earth incarnation, a point of decision. You are in the fourth earth. Most of you have been here 3 earths ago. And in every of these worlds, there came a time of decision, a time to wake up from the dream. And you are in a dream. You believe that when you close your eyes at night, the world that you live in is but fantasy. But how do you know? Because when you are asleep, it is oftentimes difficult to know that you are asleep. And even when you are aware of your dreams, you can control them, but you're still in the dream. The same is for now. When you open your eyes, you are still in the dream. It seems real, but many of you haven't realized that you are in a dream, and so you are still asleep. And even when you realize that this is a dream, you are still in the dream, even though you can control it. But the point is understanding that both worlds, dark and light, either eyes closed or eyes open, are both dreams. And if they are both dreams, then anything is possible. But it's the awakening to this. Comes the time of questioning as you are quickly approaching every being on this planet, human, animal, every molecule. Yes, molecules. Would you like to continue in the dream world, either eyes closed or eyes awake? Or would you like to see as what Anna might say, with 1,000 eyes? If you choose the dream world, that is your choice. You will continue to live in that dream world. You will continue to be subjugated to the laws of that dream world. You will continue to live your lives, either happily or miserably, in that dream world. You will feel powerless because you feel the dream has control over you. But if that's not what you wish for yourself anymore, as it's always been your choice, then the shackles come off and the 1,000 eyes open, and you are released from this world. But as I said, every being has this choice. Every molecule, every animal, every human, every plant. The orb in which you live in has this choice as well, as she has had 3 times before. Will she, the earth herself, choose to open with her 1,000 eyes? She is wanting so. But many of you might be afraid to leave the dream world, for it's all that you know. But there needn't be any fear to leave this world. Just like there is no fear for Gaia to leave this plane, for she will open her 1,000 eyes as you will open yours. And that world, the true world, your true essence, is sometimes all consuming when you find out there was nothing but love on the other side. Love, which is a difficult concept in the dream world, sometimes being depicted as a symbol, sometimes tattooed to your body, sometimes seeing love as something that you can only gain from someone else, something that you struggle to give yourself. But if you make the choice that you no longer wish to be in the dream world, you wish to live with Anna and the 1,000 eyes and all those who came before you and will come after you, to live in truth. There is only love like you've never felt before. It's all consuming. It's beautiful. You don't have words in your language to describe it because it is an energy. And so, my friends, be not afraid of the time that is coming, but begin making your choices now. And if you are unhappy with your choice, you have only to be unhappy with yourself. No one can make this choice but you. And as you've probably guessed, my truest form is not of that of a wolf, as I have already ascended. But when you are ready, I will meet you all on the other side. Oh my goodness. Oh. Wow. Okay. I'm going to rewatch the replay. Okay. Wow. I have no words. All I can say is okay. Okay. Woo. All right. Wow. I am so grateful that those three energies were able to come through. I have to sit with that. Like I really do have to sit with that. I will after our chat today. I think you guys who have been watching the chat probably have been commenting in the chat to each other. So anybody who watches the replay, I ask you to please look into that chat, as I will try to watch the replay, and hopefully I'll be able to actually see the chat by the time I watch the replay. Unfortunately, I wish I could read your comments aloud if I could actually see them. But yeah, it's an interesting glitch, but probably, you know what, I feel it's maybe just the matrix messing with us. You guys have such a high vibe energy, you have so many high vibe messages that maybe they're just not allowing you to come through for me to speak them out. But that doesn't mean that your messages and your energy aren't coming out there. So
those were intense.
Yeah.
Dog story.
Oh yeah.
Honest channeling. You gotta put that on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, James just listened to those 3 channelings. I have the gist of them, but even I have to like rewatch them because I'm like, whoo. Okay. Okay, I think the best way to ground myself is to share a little story with you guys while I just like get myself back in order here. Okay, so we have a little story. Do you mind putting the hood down? Yeah, thank you. It got a little gusty. I don't want my hood flying back into my windshield. Anyway, okay, so speaking of wolves, this doesn't have to do with a wolf, but it has to do with canines. So I have a story before we go into our guided meditation. So on James's birthday, we went out on a hike, and we decided, you know what? We never really stick to the road. We usually go off in all different, directions. We like to go off the beaten path, right? And so we decided, well, let's see, where this road takes us. So we're trotting along, and just like looking at all the nature, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful day. It was a beautiful, like, couldn't be more perfect on his birthday. And so we're coming around to a bend, and we're coming up to a property that we know usually has dogs that bark incessantly, but the last time we were over there, it didn't seem like the owner was there or the dogs or anything. So we decided maybe we'll go up that way again. So we start heading up that way, and this time we hear the dogs, and they sound pretty close. So we're like, oh, maybe we don't want to go that way because there's no fences or anything. So we don't want to tango with anybody's dogs. So we decide we're going to go off into, basically the forest. We're just going to go off the path. And we went walking for a little while, and then we stopped to take a breather. And I was just kind of like looking around, and I see something moving, and normally I'm like, oh, is that like a deer or a bunny rabbit? And I realize as I'm like looking at it, it's a dog, a big dog that's staring at me. And then it's another dog, like a smaller dog, but still a good sized dog, like 40, 50 pounds. So there's two dogs staring at us, and James is smiling, and he hasn't seen them yet. And he's like, what's up? And I'm like, dogs. And he's like, oh, and it like didn't really sink in until he looked over and was like, oh. They came sprinting at us. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I mean, we were both armed, but all I had in my hand was my knife, and I didn't even think to take out my pistol. Not that we want to shoot anybody's dog, because that's like the last thing. I never want to hurt an animal, but I also want to protect my life, and we want to maybe fire warning shots. I think warning shots are really all that dogs needs. They'll just run off in the other direction. So James stands his ground. I start backing up a little bit. All I have is my little like cut on bit knife. He got out his gun, and he was just like pointing it at the dog because he wanted to do like a warning shot just to make them go away. So like the bigger dog comes kind of charging at him, and but then like backs off because like James isn't budging, and he's like yelling at them like don't do it, and it's like he's connecting to their energy, because then the smaller quote unquote dog comes over and like starts rushing him, but you can tell that the dog is scared, but maybe trying to like show off to the bigger dog because its tail is like so far underneath it, but it's baring its teeth. It's like, it's like trying to inch forward, like seeing if it, is gonna bite James. And he's just like don't do it. And so then they have this moment where like the dog's looking at him, he's looking at the dog, and then the dog just kind of like backs away, and then they both kind of like back up, and we realize they're no longer like a threat to us anymore. And I think they realized that we weren't really going anywhere. And I think it was like a pissing contest, like trying to see like who's going to run first. Like, are you scared of us, or are we scared of you? Kind of like this dog thing, who's the bigger dog, who's the alpha in this situation. And James was basically the alpha dog. So yeah, they backed off, and then we continued on our hike. And not 5 minutes later, we are we're walking, and I see something down in the dirt, and it's a freaking Bowie knife. Like somebody's hunting knife is on the ground. It's actually got this cool like handle inlay and everything. And it's like, oh wow, it's like the forest was like, oh, we see that you're having trouble with animals, here as a protection device. Like and that was it was really interesting, so yeah, we got a forest knife. The forest gifted us a knife after that. We also found a lucky horseshoe. We found some seashells during that hike. We came across later on somebody's encampment, like in the middle of nowhere, tapped into the energy. It's a guy who likes to basically practice his mountain manness. He likes to practice being in the forest and just like living in the forest. So his sleeping bag was there, his rappelling rope, there was a bottle of water there. And we're like, okay, let's like go around. We don't want to, mess with Mr. Mountain Man. And so we left there, and then let's see. Oh yeah, we came across, there's this giant compound that's like way out there. Like I don't even know what kind of roads could go out there. It's so far from any town or anything. But it's on 210 acres, and this house, if you can call it a house, compound, has this swimming pool, I think it looks like, on the roof. Um, there's a tractor, like a bunch of acreage has been like smoothed out for the horses that are there, which is why we found the lucky horseshoe. It actually came from the owner that rides her horse out there. Tapped into the energy of the owner. It's a very, very wealthy woman who, that's her hideaway, hence why it's at the base of a cliff in the middle of nowhere. And it seems like she just like goes there because she's either in hiding from her dad or some guy or something. But anyway, that's her safe place on like 210 acres.
Can I
But
just say something about the dog attack?
yeah.
Okay, so with the dog attack, I had no fear of the dogs. And that was only because I had a gun. Like I feared hurting the dogs, I feared shooting the dogs, but I didn't fear the dogs themselves.
Mm,
So after the fact, I thought about it. If I didn't have a gun, I would have been oozing fear and they would have bit me. But just
mm,
holding that gun, it just I knew that I could, if I had to, I didn't have to get bit.
mm.
So just
Yeah. So sometimes the certain tools that we have, it's just having it
it's the
gives,
energy of the gun.
yeah, it's the energy of the device that gives you confidence, and so, and I think that that's like for, let's say if we replace the dog with a human with ill intentions, you know, um, it's that either we're gonna cower away in fear, because humans, we're not so much different than dogs, we're always like it's a pissing contest, oh, you're the alpha, oh, I listen to you. But yeah, let's say there's a criminal who's coming up upon you, and they look real big and bad and scary, but you have a tool that they don't, and you're confident with it, and you're like, I'm not backing down. They don't want to get hurt. That's the last thing a criminal wants to do. They don't want a gunfight. They want easy, like meager, like targets. They want people who are meek and mild and will just like, oh, please, like, Mr. Person, don't hurt me. Those are easy targets, and that's what they want. They want to get their stuff, they want to get out, or whatever it is they want to do. But yeah. So I think that that was very symbolic of, like, just people in
Yeah.
general.
John
So
Gray says everything has energy, and that's exactly right because I haven't been in a situation like that in a long time where like adrenaline's pumping and you could get like seriously mauled.
mhm,
Um, but time slowed down, and me and the dog had a moment where we communicated, like without words,
mhm,
and it was energetic, and it was weird. Like I sensed the dog's energy, and he sensed mine. It
mhm,
was the weirdest thing, and he said, "Oh, you're gonna shoot me. I'm out of here."
yeah.
That's what he sensed in me.
And I think the best thing is, like, when shots don't get fired, like, it's just energy, like, I guess you guys can see the comments and I can't, but, yeah, so it is just energy. It's just I have this confidence to defend myself, to protect myself. I'm not backing down from you. And so whether it's dog or person or whatever it may be,
Cabal, government,
cabal,
which is what
government,
Anna
they're
said.
like, "Oh, you're not gonna back down? Well, you're not an easy target. I don't want to mess with you." So they back up. Nobody has to get shot. Nobody has to
Stop
get
paying your
hurt.
taxes.
Like nobody, that's why I'm like, I'm not about violence. Like I'm a very non-violent person, but I do understand having boundaries and standing your ground. So whether you have to do it with a tool, or whether you're doing it with your energy, because everything is energy, is just to not back down. I don't back down to government. I don't back down to dogs. I don't back down to criminals. And really, that's all it is. It's that pissing contest. It's you know, well, he or she is not backing down. Well, okay, we're out of here. So probably wise things to think about. And I think that goes along with the channelings that we just heard from Anna, from the White Wolf, like, even from our first friend from the Apache tribe, that's our ancestors are literally coming back to show us that we are very strong. Put your strong energy up, put your strong boundaries up. So yeah, it was interesting experience that day in the forest. Obviously the messages transcended, what actually occurred that day. But yeah, I found it very beneficial. I think we had a wonderful day. We got a good story to tell now and share. But yeah, it was lovely. We came back with our
And then we
finds.
went to Arizona territory,
Oh
state line.
yeah, there's right behind that 210 acres where that compound is that lady lives. Right behind it, there's Arizona state territory. So basically, this lady is like surrounded by nothingness, just wild, wild forest, which is beautiful if you want to live secluded. Um, so we went up there, and I don't know, I was just kind of getting the creeps up there. I could hear some dogs around there. There was tire tracks, and there's really nobody supposed to be living on Arizona state land. Um, so I knew that there was people that had been there recently, and I don't know, people weird me out, and I'm just like, let's go. So yeah, I got chickened out. I left. We went back down this. We were way out there, you guys. We were way out on the mesa, and so we climbed all the way down. We just saw some beautiful sights, some like fabulous canyons. Oh my gosh, to be a bird, if on that trip would have been beautiful, just flying through the canyons, through the rocks, past the cliffs. Like I was like, come on, why can't I fly it? Like, it would be amazing. But yeah, so um good times. And now I feel like I've calmed down from the channeling, so glad I got to share that story.
Yeah, they like the story. Susie says thanks for sharing it. John Gross says stories are great. How much fun would any of our stories be if there wasn't any risk?
Yeah. So James always loves a little risk, in any adventure that he goes into. We don't want to be put ourselves in things that are actually super dangerous, but maybe a little risky. And that gets me out of my comfort zone because normally I'm a very safe person. But I think it gets me back to my childhood when I was a little bit more dangerous and I hadn't been programmed to be as safe yet. So I think that's a good thing. And you know what? I survived my childhood, so maybe we can be a little risky. Um, all right, I want to do our guided meditation, but I want to do like I did not last week. I
I
didn't
can
see you
read
guys
super
last week.
chats for you if you want to do super chats.
Oh, okay, that's right. So James can actually read the chat. So I could do super chats or super stickers if you guys want, and he'll just read them to me. And then I'll still pull the cards and everything. But let me find a deck. I think I went my witch's kitchen. So if anybody would like to do super chats or super stickers, let James know or let me know. I mean, he's reading the chat. I can't see the chat for some reason. Stupid YouTube. But yeah, excuse me. Just let me know. And then if not, let's go into that guided meditation. But I want to do a channeled guided meditation as I normally do. But I want to do it channeled in the sense that of all the spirits that were hanging out, some of them didn't get to speak. Maybe one of them can come through and help us with the guided meditation like we did 2 weeks ago. With it was Mika came through.
Okay, first one is Kayla. She
Uh-huh.
says message from my higher self.
Oh, okay. All right, Kayla, a message for your higher self will do. Again, we got the witch's kitchen. Okay.
Stephanie McKay says good morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
And Susie's selling herself short again in tarot reading.
Aw, Susie, don't sell yourself short. My goodness. Susie kicks ass, I hope you guys know.
Edgar Tellez is here.
Oh, Edgar is here. All right, our boy Edgar, who's by the way, how are you feeling? He's been recuperating since I last saw him or chatted with him. Okay, Kayla, we have mugwort, intuition. Look at all the goodies going in at that witchy kitchen. I love me some mugwort. Okay. Of course, Eco always comes in for Kayla. Whether we're calling on Eco or not, he's just connected at your hip, so energetically. Um, the ego is just showing for you to really start listening to your gut. And although, yes, sometimes you do, sometimes you're like, oh, I have a nagging suspicion about this, or, I'm, going into my meditations, and yes, I'm listening to my higher self on this. But Eco said sometimes when, let's say, you're in an environment that's very 3D, like let's say you're at work, or, you're just doing some mundane things, like it's not quote unquote spiritual time. Sometimes Eco says that you put this like category, like now is spiritual time, that's when I turn on my intuition. Now is not spiritual time, so I don't really turn on my intuition as much. Not that it's ever turned off, but it becomes deadened at some point. And he's saying that just like dogs, you have a really good sense of things, and just because you're not in spiritual time, or it's not time for meditation or for time to be slinging cards, doesn't mean that your intuition is any less on point. It's there all the time, 24/7. There isn't a clock in, clock out for your intuition. It's there for you always to navigate your 3D world as much as your 5D world. And so for some things that have been niggling at you lately, or sometimes when you surprise yourself lately, where you're like, oh man, I was just thinking that, and here, it happened, but I thought it was just in my imagination. He's saying those are things to reinforce your intuition, to let you know you never truly turn that intuition off, neither should you try to. It's really here to help you. So whether you're grocery shopping, let that intuition on through, or you're slinging cards, let that intuition on through. There is no time to turn it on and off. Always let it be on. Your life can only be more rich because of it. And Eco keeps like, I don't know, doing things with his nose, like you can sense it out, you can smell it out. All right.
Yeah, a few more.
All right, Mugwort, intuition. Oh, we have some more.
Yeah,
Okay.
Butterfly Love Child donated $5 and asked, "When will I connect with my divine masculine?"
Oh, okay. So Butterfly Love Child, connecting with the divine masculine. When will you connect to the divine masculine? Thank you so much, by the way, for everybody who's doing super chats and super stickers. Muchly appreciated. It's an honor to read for you guys. The card went flying out there, butterfly. Okay. Flies out, butterfly. Eh?
Says, "Thank you, Taryn."
Oh, you're very welcome, Kayla. You know what? Thank you to Eco too. He always helps with the messages and helps them be so clear. Okay, butterfly, we have patchouli, purpose. And I'll let you take a gander at all the witchy items in that kitchen. Okay. Okay, your higher self is talking about when you're wanting to come in balance with your divine feminine and your divine masculine. It's understanding that there's nothing wrong or bad with the divine masculine. Not that consciously you might see it that way, but this is more of a subconscious thing, where sometimes, and possibly it could be conditioning from society, or something from when you were growing up, that when the divine masculine is taken to the extreme, meaning out of balance with its divine feminine, yeah, it could look pretty ugly, just like the divine feminine could look pretty ugly when it's out of balance with its divine masculine. But the masculine is so fiery, it's so full of action, that sometimes that takes precedence over sometimes when we see the divine feminine out of balance. So the divine masculine out of balance might look like dominating others, or not letting others speak, or in that go, go, go energy to the point where it breaks down and wears itself out. But this is going inwards and healing the divine masculine that's been within your life, and understanding that what may not have been desirable in the past, i.e., seeing it run itself ragged, dominating others, was a masculine that was out of balance, and that you can send healing energy to that. And when you do that, you're sending healing energy to your own divine masculine. and letting it know that it does have a time and place. There is a purpose for it, just like there is a purpose for your feminine, which you are embracing wholeheartedly. The feminine is really good at connecting to its heart space, living in flow, being fluid, allowing ideas, creativity to flow through. And the divine masculine is very good at helping you to implement that into action. When your intuition comes through, the divine masculine will help you to enact that intuition. When that flow is coming in, the divine masculine gives it structure so that you can implement it into your material world. When you feel a particular way about something, that masculine will come in and help, again, give it structure so that we can express those feelings and emotions to others instead of letting them just stay like an ocean of current within ourselves. And so, balance is fully within your reach now if you wish it to be. But the first step is actually a masculine step, and that's going in and offering up healing to the masculine of the past so that you can bring that into balance to your present and understand that there is an equal purpose for both and giving it gratitude. Your masculine is there, but it needs a little love from your divine feminine to help it to heal so you can bring it both into balance. And if you can do this daily, a daily practice, your higher self saying, I don't see why at the snap of a finger you couldn't come into balance now. All right. Thank you, butterfly, for allowing me to tap into that. Your higher self actually kind of does look like a butterfly, just so you know. Okay.
John Gross donated 5, but he didn't do a question, just a little emoji of a fox or a cat.
Oh, so John, thank you so much. So there's a little fox or kitty emoji, James says. Do you have a question? I'd be more than happy to pull a card for you. Just
I
let
already
us know.
asked. I think just a general message.
Oh, just a general message. Alrighty then. Let's do it, John. Okay. John, when I was trying to tap into your energy, maybe it's just because I like Lindsay Sterling, but I started hearing Lindsay Sterling music. If you don't know who she is, she plays the violin and the fiddle.
Butterfly says, thank you, Tara.
Butterfly, you are very welcome. Whoa, whoa, whoa! John, your cards got crazy.
And someone couldn't afford a reading, so Aurora bought one for her.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Aurora, for helping that person out. That is so, so kind of you. Truly is. I love everybody in this chat. You guys are amazing. Okay, John, let's see. Okay, before I looked the cards, so yeah, I was hearing that Lindsay Sterling music, but the white wolf was actually coming through and saying that if you would like to, the wolf is willing to work with you today in meditation. He feels, or it feels, I don't really think it has a gender, it feels that you would find that really beneficial to go in and connect to that energy. But let's go ahead and look at the card here. It's chili pepper, ferocity, chili pepper. And go ahead and take a look at that, Witchy Kitchen. Okay. Okay, so the white wolf is saying what it wants to help you with, just like Butterfly Love Child was talking about, wanting help about bringing the divine masculine into balance with herself, bringing it out more. For you, understanding what a powerful, strong, authoritative, yet still imbalanced divine masculine looks like for you. That sometimes we might feel that the masculine taken, let's say where it's really standing its ground and boundaries that maybe, people might be afraid and be like, oh no, no, that's too much. It's too extra. It has to back off. And the wolf is saying there is a unique balance that you are ready to attain, where you are one that knows your power, you know how to enact that power, you know how to stand your ground, you know how to have boundaries, but you also have a very good sense of your divine feminine. So it's okay to let that masculine out even more so, to the point where you really start manipulating the world. You're getting to a point where you're getting very good at manipulating energy, with the help of your divine feminine. You've been enacting it with your masculine, but your masculine is also really good with boundaries and shielding yourself and really putting its foot down when it needs to. And that's what the wolf wants to help you with. There's a way to do it without dominating others or putting others into submission, because I know that that's not what you want, but there is a way to do it without doing that and still being very masculine. So yeah, it's just a message. The wolf really wants to work with you tonight or today. Maybe do it right now, during the chat. So, okay, excellent. That's rad.
So I'm not sure. I guess Aurora became a member.
Oh,
Is
Aurora
that
is a
what this
member?
means?
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Aurora's now a member. Woo! Thank you, Caitlin.
Okay. Does he get a question?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. We'll pull a card for you too, Caitlin.
She says
And
no, not today. She has no question.
oh, no question today, but
Pull a
um,
card.
yeah, I'm gonna pull a card anyway. But she did give somebody else a reading, right?
Yeah, there's another reading.
Okay, what was their question?
So that was Joyful Dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
It's somebody that wants to say something to somebody. Swasha would like to give a message to somebody. Please and thank you. So Swasha has a message.
Oh, for her? Okay. So this next card pulled in is for Joyful Dolphin, who Aurora so graciously got a reading for. And you said that Swasha has a message. So let's go ahead and pull a card then. And Caitlin, I'm gonna pull a card for you anyway, because you're amazeballs. So we'll do a message from your higher self then, but we'll do Joyful Dolphin first. Ooh, turmeric, diversity. Check out all that goodness there. I love using turmeric in things, especially drinks and teas. Teas are drinks. Okay, Joyful Dolphin. Okay, the message that's coming through is labels and boxes, and understanding that at a energetic level, the only thing that separates us from our brothers and sisters is this skin suit. But energetically, we are not separated from anyone. And just like the messages that we had earlier about looking through the eyes of our soul, we'd realize that we were all one. We may be all unique energies, but together we are all one. And the only time we place labels or put ourselves in boxes is when we look with our human eyes, our two eyes. Then we start to look at people for the color of their skin, or the length of their hair, or the region they live in, the words that they speak, the political party that they associate with, the car that they drive, all of these external factors that have nothing to do with who you truly are, which is you at a soul level. And to be reminded of the labels that maybe inadvertently we've placed upon ourselves. Perhaps we say, oh, I've always been a shy person, and that's my label. Or I'm only attracted to really tall people, and that's my label. I'm the daughter of 5 children. That's my label. I live in America. That's my label. But why do we want to give ourselves these labels? Instead, maybe you could say, I am love. I am you and you are me. And practice saying that on a daily basis. And we stop seeing the labels within ourselves and the labels that we've given others. And we start seeing them as ourselves and as love instead of something separate from us, a different gender than us, a different skin color than us, a different race, maybe. And you just start seeing them as light and as love. And this is the biggest message coming through for you and for everyone, that it's time to start seeing past the outside and look on the inside. As they so say in the cliche, it's what's on the inside that matters. That's actually pretty true. All right, Joyful Dolphin. What an amazing message you had, not only for you, but for everyone.
Yeah, she said it was
Thank you.
a message for someone else. But
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. So for
that
you
works.
and for the other person, yes. Well, for everybody, I think that was a good message for everyone.
You got another
All
one?
right. Oh, we had Caitlin.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. So Caitlin, let's tap into your higher self. Let's pull a card for you. I know you didn't have a question, but I appreciate you so much. Oh, okay. You also got the chili pepper card, ferocity. Okay. Let's dive into this one. Oh, I feel one of your goddesses coming through. Nyx. Nyx is saying that, as you know, she's a goddess, but she's also you. And maybe it would behoove you that each morning when you wake up embodying her energy. That when I open my eyes as Nyx. And all of the decisions that you make and how you interact with other people, how you care for yourself, how you express yourself, how you connect with your intuition, do this as a goddess because you are the goddess. And sometimes you lose sight of that, as we all do. That when we work with all these beautiful energies that surround us, whether they are deities or beings from other galaxies, that we forget that they are also us, not just other beings. And so, although Goddess Nyx is a goddess, she wants you to remind you that you are her as well. And that the best way to honor her is not with material items, but by embodying her energy. And she says, you know me well enough to do that. And it's time to become her. All right, Caitlin. Dude, freaking amaze balls. Whew. All
Okay,
right.
Michelle Montemayor donated $10 and asks, she wants a message about the sacred divine love and her. Thanks, Tara.
Oh, okay, so Michelle, our girl Michelle living out in Santa Cruz, wants a message for the divine feminine, you said?
No,
Or
a message here. It's a message about sacred divine love and
oh,
her.
the message for sacred divine love and you. Okay. Message for sacred divine love and Michelle. Okay. All right. Message for sacred divine love. Sacred divine love. Your higher self is so cheeky. All of a sudden, I saw Prince, and it's like one of the music videos is like when the doves cry. So anyway, okay, cheeky higher self. All right, we have eucalyptus and breathe. Check out all those items in that kitchen there. Okay, so your higher self coming through, saying that when you're just sitting, probably as you are now, and you just bring your awareness into your body and you're noticing all the systems that work together just to keep you alive, and so to speak, alive in human form, as we never truly die. You focus on your breath and how when you breathe in, it oxygenates the blood. You feel the beating of your heart pumping that oxygenated blood throughout the body, that the nervous system working, hummingly well, just humming along as you feel the air on your skin, your brain activity doing its thing, everything working in complete harmony. And that's the physical representation of what divine love looks like. It's synergy, it's harmony. And the way everything understands that everything else, let's say we'll keep on using the body as an example. The heart understands what its role is, what its strength is. It doesn't doubt itself. It just knows it has to pump blood. That's what it does. And it's very good at it. The blood knows what it does. And it doesn't doubt itself. It doesn't say, oh, well, maybe I should be the lungs. No, it knows it's the blood. And because it has love for what it does and it has love for itself. Yes, your organs do have a consciousness. Every cell in your body has a consciousness because you have a consciousness. And so all these little consciousnesses inside your body understand their role. They have love for you just as you have love for them. And because there is that love, they work synergistically with each other. And so now, if we can take what we learn inside our body, which our answers are always right here, even sometimes the physical body itself helping us out with those answers, how can we see the outside world just like we see our inside world? When you have love for yourself and you know without a shadow of a doubt that this is what I'm here to do, I'm here to help others, I'm here to speak my truth, then everything seems to work as it should. You find that there are less blockages because you have love for yourself and you have love for what you do. You don't question yourself in the sense without ego. You don't say, oh, well, maybe I'm not as good as so and so. Because would your brain say that? Would your heart say that? Your lungs? Your muscles? No. And so it's realizing that you have a very specific purpose here, as does everybody else, as does every tree, every animal. They all have a purpose here. And it's living within that purpose is living within the love for yourself and the love for your purpose and the love for others. And the more you can embrace that and you understand that, the more things seem to just flow in the outside world. So if you're needing help with that, your organs, your actual physical body is saying, we can help you with that. In your next meditation, go inwards. If you need to ask any organ that you have, liver, kidneys, say, I need help living in flow as you live in flow. Since you are a part of me, you can teach me. And they'd be more than happy to help you.
She said,
All
"My
right.
mom loved Prince. When Doves Cry is one of my favorite songs of his."
Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. Maybe that's why Prince came in then. I was like, when doves cry, okay. All right. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much.
I think that might be it.
All right. It seems like that is everybody then. Thank you so much to everybody who got a super chat, super sticker. I'm so glad James is here and be able to help out with reading the chat to me and helping me with that. And Aurora, thank you so much for joining our little KWT tribe over here. I truly do appreciate it, and I do appreciate what you and Susie and everybody in this chat. I don't neglect anybody. Everybody here, you guys are wonderful human beings. You're the ones that make this Sunday chat so pleasant and wonderful. So many wonderful messages. So if you are going to watch the replay, anybody who's watching this replay, please read the chat. There's a lot of good messages there.
So Aurora wants you to know that she's starting back on the game after this.
Oh, okay.
Michelle says, beautiful, thank you.
You're very welcome,
Susie
Michelle.
says, thank you, Tara, and everyone who got a super chat.
Yes, thank you, Susie. And yeah, so Aurora is she has the Sims game that she's been playing, and some of us are her characters, and she's been doing a fabulous job at that. I I love watching the videos that she posts on Instagram. I think that she did like a pretty good job with my sim, so and I think everybody else too. So okay, let's go into that channeled guided meditation, because it's not like those spirits left. They're still here. So they ain't got nothing but time, because there is no time where they are. So, okay. Let's give you guys a nice view. So let's give you guys the juniper again. I'm going to turn this camera around. Do, do, do. There we go. Oh, look, it's Ketsadora. Okay. The wind's kicking up a little. That's okay. Sometimes the birdies have been flying up into that tree, so I think I'm gonna stare this up into the tree for you guys. Let's go to the tippy top of the branches just in case the birds come in. Okay. So go ahead and get yourselves in a nice comfortable space, either lying down, sitting in a chair. And while you guys are getting yourselves in a place that is free of distraction, where you can focus on your breath, I will pull in our friend who will continue with your meditation. So go ahead and get comfy, cozy, while I pull in a spirit for you. Okay, looks like we have somebody who wouldn't mind continuing your meditation with you. Not really sure the tribe this man is from. It's interesting because he's painted all in white, and he has a cougar skin on him and a very large staff. Ojoe. Lay your body down. I want you to feel all the sensations of the body, the feelings of what you lay on, the feeling of the air, the feeling of the movement of the finest hair on your body. As you lay like this with these feelings, noticing the feelings from your toes to your head, that your body does not stop feeling. There's always something that the skin can feel, the hair, and always something that you sense close by. And as you breathe, you realize that you are always wrapped in the blanket, a blanket of energy. Sometimes you may feel that if you are in the ocean, you are in something. If you are in the mud, you are in something. But you are always in something. Just as you are in something now, you would not have sensation if you were not in something. Perhaps you're wrapped by the wind. Perhaps you're wrapped in energy. But you're always held. Always. And whenever you feel fretful, worried, not sure what your next course of action should be, go inwards. Feel the energy once again. Feel the wind in your hair, on your body. And know that you are always held by Great Spirit, by your spirit. And you are never alone. How could you fret if the Great Mother holds you? How could you worry if the Great Mother holds you? How do you not know your next step if your own spirit holds you? So do this next time you feel alone, you feel challenged. Be reminded you are being held. You can physically feel it on your skin. And in that holding, ask the questions that are most pressing on your mind, just as you can ask them now. We're coming into the part two. I know we had some little issues at the very beginning. Thank you to all the super chats, super stickers. For our brand new member, thank you. For our members that have been members, thank you so much. All my patrons, all my subscribers, everybody comes in, hangs out with us. Love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday and a fabulous rest of the week. And I'll catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.